Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. We have some news, so let's get straight to it. The very first thing that I have for you guys is actually from Rebor, and we have a look at their Deinosuchus figures. Not much of a look, just kind of a shot overhead here, but I believe these are actual factory samples of the figures, so it helps to give you an idea of how nice the paint job's going to look, and it looks excellent so far from what I can tell. Definitely excited about this release, potentially more excited about this one than many of the other Rebor releases that have come along in quite some time, which is pretty impressive because Rebor always releases exciting stuff, but we just don't have many good Deinosuchus models, so this one is exceptionally exciting. And then we also have a look at the Rebor Diplodocus here, showing us how exactly the bendy tail looks and everything, and just generally getting a look at the figure printed out, and it looks amazing. Like, quite possibly the best Diplodocus figure on the market. There's a very, very good chance that that's exactly what this one's going to be from Rebor. I'm so psyched to actually see a Rebor sauropod. Never thought I'd see the day, but boy am I happy that it is on its way, and definitely a figure that is a must-have if you ask me. And then when it comes to March 90 shop, I wanted to let you guys know that they currently have a 30% off all items on their Redbubble store if this was something you were interested in. I've actually promoted them a few times in the past. It's a really cool site full of all kinds of really neat dinosaur collectibles, and a 30% off deal is pretty nice. And again, this is a very brief deal. It's only going to last 3 days, and I believe we're already in the middle of it, so I wanted to let you guys know again that this is currently going on, so you can take advantage of it before that sale ends. I'll include a link in the description to that shop where you can grab yourself some really cool discounts on some really cool dinosaur products. And then I also wanted to give a huge shout out to KIR.JAX on Instagram for pointing this out to me, but there's some really cool images of some Papo Dragons that have just hit the internet. Now these of course are not dinosaurs, however one certainly looks to share some similar aspects to a dinosaur from Papo, as this dragon here has a very strong similarity to the limited edition Spinosaurus, it looks like, as far as some of the body parts. But honestly, even though they're not dinosaurs, I think they are phenomenal, and it also gives me hope that Papo might return back to the way they used to be when it comes to the super nice, really high quality products we once received from them, because both of these dragons honestly look incredible. I have no idea when these will actually be releasing, but this is the first time I've seen them, so I wanted to show you guys just in case you might be interested. And then when it comes to Creative Beast Studio and the Beasts of the Mesozoic, we have a look at the Utahraptor, and man, is this ever the nicest Utahraptor that I've ever seen, which we don't have many out, but man, does this ever blow away every other Utahraptor I've ever seen. Not to mention the paint job and paint scheme of this is potentially the nicest paint scheme I've seen in any of the Raptor series releases. This thing just looks incredible. Everything is about as gorgeous as it gets, and I can see this being the best Utahraptor that I'll ever include in my collection. And then as far as PNSO goes, we have another brand new release coming from them, and it is a Therizinosaurus, and it is probably one of the nicest Therizinosaurus models I've ever seen. Again, I have heard a few people mention the fact that the paint job isn't quite as flashy or as impressive as what we had seen on the recent Dino-Kyrus, but I think the paint job of it looks really nice and natural, looks pretty much how I would imagine a Therizinosaurus would look. The sculpt looks incredible. Definitely another really nice release from them, a very cool species that, I really did not see coming, so it's always a welcome addition to my collection whenever I get a new PNSO figure, especially one that is a surprising release like this. I hope they continue this trend and continue to create more species like this in the future, because it seems as though PNSO absolutely excels when it comes to these species. And then as far as Nanmu goes, they gave us a sneak peek here at one of the paint schemes for their upcoming Jurassic World Dominion-style Giganotosaurus, and it looks honestly breathtaking. It's hard to really see how nice it looks because we don't have like a nice side angle or anything, but this looks phenomenal as far as the paint job and of course the sculpt, but we've seen the sculpt in the past, but the paint job really looks great. It's very cool to see this actually having paint on it because they've been hyping it up for a few months now. If you're not a huge fan of the Dominion version of the Giganotosaurus, Giganotosaurus, then you're probably best to stick with their older release, because that as well was one of the nicest Giganotosaurus figures I've ever seen. But if you do like the Dominion-style Giganotosaurus like me, then this is a must-have for sure, and I cannot wait to see what other paint schemes they release for this beautiful Giganotosaurus. And then when it comes to Artic Figures, we have a look at their next figure, or at least one of the many figures they seem to be working on currently. But this is a sneak peek of the Spinosaurus. They are already in progress of creating the Spinosaurus. And considering I now have quite a few different Artic Figures releases in my collection, I am extremely interested in this Spinosaurus and seeing the progress, as well as, of course, checking the figure out when it is completely finished, because I'm sure it's going to be another banger of a release from Artic Figures. The Spinosaurus already is looking amazing. And speaking of amazing Artic Figures releases, we have a look at their Graboid in package. The entire thing looks amazing. Of course, this is just a prototype. I believe he's going to be probably releasing unpainted and definitely some painted versions in the near future, and he has a few different size ranges. This one is the smaller version, and this one has a really cool magnet that connects the kind of tongues to the inside of the mouth, but he has a larger one that will be coming out that actually has articulated tongues. So very, very cool looking. Again, Graboid figures, in my opinion, are a dream come true, and I personally cannot wait to get my hands on these. And then when it comes to Edels collectibles, we have another look here at their Pocketsaurs that are going to be going up on their Kickstarter on October 30th. We have a look at the first few here as far as the paint jobs and stuff go, and they look just as amazing as the larger Edels collectibles figures, but obviously at a much smaller size. Very cool. I really want to get my hands on some of these as well, because I'm a huge fan of Edels collectibles. I have a number of their models in my collection as well, and they produce also some of the nicest articulated dinosaur figures you'll ever see, so definitely would love to see some of these smaller versions in hand, hopefully at some point in the near future. Again, make sure you check out their Kickstarter on October 30th. And then the final thing that I have, and as far as Mattel goes, we haven't had much coming from them lately. It's been really quiet when it comes to Mattel news, unfortunately. But that could be the calm before the storm, and maybe we'll start to get some really cool stuff very soon. But all we really have right now is an inbox image of the Concavenator. This has actually been floating around for a few days. This is the Hammond collection Concavenator, and I was kind of waiting to see if something else was going to come out from Mattel, but right now it seems pretty silent, so I figured I might as well just throw a news video up with all this other really cool information, and then show you guys this image here at the end, because everybody seems to love the Hammond collection. And of course, this Concavenator is absolutely gorgeous. I think it even looks better here in box than it did in the original promotional images. This is definitely one that I'm really looking forward to, even though it's not one of the, dinosaurs we've seen prominently displayed in any of the films. We only saw it briefly in like a background shot in the Lockwood Manor, but it still looks gorgeous, and I cannot wait to get this figure in my hands as well. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way, but until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.